So in one of the classes that I teach, which is SPHY 379, which is Recreational Therapy Facilitation Techniques, we've usually done it as a lecture-based course in the past. And through an active learning grant that I got through the CITL department, we brought in active learning strategies, namely those of teaching in the case study method, and has been fantastic for our students. It has allowed them to get real-world application of the things that we're talking about in class. So instead of spending 75 minutes a day lecturing and talking about things, we're able to spend a small portion of our day lecturing and talking about important, crucial concepts, and then we directly apply them in the case studies that we're working in. And so we've been able to design 4 different case studies with various different clients that we work with. So we've got children with emotional issues, adults with physical disabilities, teenagers with cognitive disabilities. We have a geriatric case study as well. And it allows our students to directly apply what we've been talking about. And so they can do assessments with real people. They can create real treatment plans with real types of clients. They can create their goals. They can create interventions. They can find evidence-based practice to support those interventions. And then they can do documentation, progress notes, and evaluation, all on real people that allows them to directly tie in what we've talked about in class into real-life situations. This class also has a service learning component for it, and teaching the case study method prepares our students even better for going out into the real world as a service learner and directly applying these things. And so we talk about it in lecture, we practice it, and I give them direct feedback with our case studies, and then they go out and they do them with real-world individuals. And it's made the class so much more enjoyable for our students. It's made it so much more enjoyable and enriching for me as a professor to teach, and it's helped our students reach our learning outcomes and our learning objectives at a much higher rate than it has in the past. And so it's been a great blessing to me, great blessing to our students. They enjoy working together in groups, working through these case studies much more than they enjoy sitting there listening to me talk and lecture. And so it's just been a great addition to our course, and it's really changed things and improved the way that I'm able to teach it and the way our students are able to learn the necessary information. Once we break into our case studies, we break off into small groups, usually 3 to 4, depending upon the number of students in the class. And they have gone through a couple of classes already with the same cohort of students. And so they know each other pretty well, and so they buy into the group aspect. They work together fantastic for the most part. And then it allows them with the case studies to really look at individual clients. And because we have such a diverse range of clients, they're able to really understand what rec therapy means for children, for young adults, for older adults, for elderly adults, and for people with physical disabilities and cognitive disabilities and chronic illnesses and emotional issues and mental health issues. There isn't necessarily a right way or a wrong way. There's different approaches, and as long as it's based upon evidence and research, then that's a good way to move forward. And so then we'll discuss this. You know, we've got 4 different groups here that have come up with 3 different ideas. Which way is the right way? Maybe they're all the right way, maybe they're all the wrong way. But we'll discuss why that is, and then how we can support that with evidence and move forward with our treatment plan into the actual interventions and progress notes and other documentation that we do. But I did bring in elements of the flipped classroom. And so students do have to be prepared when they come to class. They've got to do a certain amount of reading. There are things that we won't cover in lecture that I expect them to know from the readings. And so when they come to class, we'll usually do a small lecture, a short lecture on some main key topics. We may have a short quiz on the reading material to make sure that they're being held accountable. Or sometimes we'll just break off right into group work. And if they haven't done it, they're completely lost. And I'm not going to take time out of the classroom to help one student get caught up if they didn't do the reading on their own. And so they can step aside, they can do the reading, they can get caught back up, and I'm more than happy to help students who have missed because of sickness or other things help. But if a student isn't doing the basic requirements of coming to class prepared, they'll have to pay the consequences for that. And by holding them accountable for that and being consistent, students learn very quickly very, very quickly that they have to come to class prepared. And those things traditionally disappear after the first week or two of class.